We got an awesome show today. We're going to talk about how Apple is coming out with some of the best technology and updates, but they're taking things from you to make you buy more stuff. Then you got even better news about the stocks. All the stocks, 89% of all U.S. stocks are owned by the wealthiest 10%. Who's controlling this one? The puppeteer and all that and so much more. Welcome to What the F Happened. Today's going to be awesome. Be right back at you. Oh my God. And there's so much going on. I don't care if you've got the new Apple stuff, if you're, getting all these updates. How many updates can Apple send out for the phone? And the best part is, and this is my phone specifically. Now I have an old one, an X. Now, if you guys have the 13, maybe this wasn't the situation, but my iPhone all of a sudden stopped working. Everything was delayed. Nothing would work. I couldn't download things. I couldn't open emails. Oh my gosh, silly me. I got to do the update. Who's in control there? But Apple just launched a lot of new stuff. And a lot of new stuff means now you got to buy more. What do they call these things, Stephen? Dongles? You have to pay extra just to have the things to plug shit into your computers now. I mean, it's smart business. How do you hate on a company that actually just keeps making new products that people have to have because they make it so your old one doesn't work anymore? And when you get the new product, you got to buy new shit because the old shit doesn't work in the new shit. Stephen, what the hell is going on with Apple?
I don't know. So, I guess that, with all the, they've just overhauled the entire MacBook Pro, and supposedly, over the years, they've taken away a lot of the ports, and now they're charging a bunch of more money and putting the ports back in, and they're changing the chips on the design. And they're always figuring out ways to innovate and make money. I'm a big Apple fan myself, so I'm not going to say too much. But there's one thing that they are better at than creating products and creating awesome designs and things that actually just work. The other thing that they're even better at is taking our money. So they figured out a way to double the price and give us back things that we had years ago already. But that's what Apple does, and I love them anyways.
I love them too, So we can bitch all day long about Apple, but their stock's actually benefiting quite well from this right now. If you are in that for the long haul, right here, Dre5491 on Instagram comes in and he said, if you own GE stock, General Electric, unload it. So we got to find out, what does that man know about General Electric stock that says unloaded? I would have said you should have got rid of it a while ago because the market's so overheated. You should probably just sell most of your holdings and take the profits off the table and do what Warren Buffett said, buy low, sell high, and don't lose money. That's what they say. But you know what? I want you guys chatting. I want you guys commenting, and hell, you guys all love this part. I want you arguing, because that's what the F is. We want you arguing against what we're saying. Prove us wrong. Show us that we're wrong. We love that, but be ready for a fight, because you know what? It's going to be a left, and it's going to be a right hook. So what do we got? Wealthiest 10% of Americans own a record 89% of all stocks. Whoa. Well, isn't that kind of like
talking about selling stocks? But it brings up the question: how much stock do actual Americans really own? Why are the prices at unbelievable record highs that, technically speaking, and according to history, makes 0 sense? Why is this going on? Is this maybe something that leads towards it?
I think there's a little bit of puppeteering going on here. I mean, there's no secret. We're going to get into Bitcoin today, folks. We always talk about Bitcoin, but I mean, there's a lot of big guys out there. We call them the smart money, playing puppeteering with the markets by front running, my gosh, Pelosi should be in jail. The SEC should have locked her ass up a while ago, because that lady does nothing but insider trading, front running, selling away. I mean, she does it all. And, that's the other thing. A lot of these guys, from Elon Musk and everybody else, they'll make a tweet. The stock will run up or run down. Who do you think's buying or selling that on the other end? The smart money. And who's losing? The stupid money. The stupid money's plowing into the markets right now. The smart money's pulling back out and taking gains off the tables. So right here, if you got 89% of all stocks in the U.S. owned by the wealthiest 10%, folks, that means you don't own much. All you Robinhood investors, all you TD Ameritrade investors, you're a wee little bit of the equation. They're running the show. Stephen, like, what do you think about that? Now, this is new. Like, I didn't know that. You always hear about the wealthiest, Americans and the wealthiest people, all the money flows back to them. But here we have it now in the stock market, which is highly speculative, way overpriced. And I think you're just a damn fool if you're putting money into the stock market at these levels. But I know you keep making money because, hey, it just keeps going up because they want it to keep going up. But eventually, what is that song? The music stops. Eventually, it's going to come crashing down. We just don't know when. So you can either take a risk and stay in, or you can get out. It's whatever.
I think overall too, it just goes to show you like how disconnected financial markets can be to the real world, because we talk to people every day from all across the country and all walks of life. I mean, on any given day, I'll talk to somebody living paycheck to paycheck, and I'll talk to a successful business owner that's making 7 figures a year and looking for ways to grow their wealth even more, and everything in between. But let me tell you, the folks that are living paycheck to paycheck, or being able to put away $500, $1,000 a month, they just want to be smart with their money. They're struggling right now. Like, they're the ones feeling the pain at the gas pumps. They're the ones that are going to the grocery store, buying groceries for their family, and their bills are 10, 20, 30% higher than they were a year, 2, 3 years ago. And that is a real world effect. And so when we hear on the news how the stock market's breaking records and all this stuff is going awesome, it just makes you wonder, like, who is that actually benefiting? And when you see stuff like this, that, the top 1% gained $6.5 trillion during the pandemic, when people like Bezos made trillions and trillions of dollars, when the rest of us weren't even allowed to work. And then one of the other things we're going to get into in a minute right now is with all these policies, again, these people that are the 1%, the people that are controlling the 89% of US stocks, they're the ones mandating vaccines. And if you don't listen to them, you're fired. You're not even allowed to go to work anymore. You're not allowed to go make money for your family. So it just all kind of comes together, and it's crazy. And the last thing I wanted to say, just real fast, about what you mentioned with Nancy Pelosi and the insider trading. I mean, I think that's pretty common knowledge. But if anybody's on Twitter, there's a new Twitter account. I think it'll be taken down pretty soon. But it's called Nancy Pelosi Portfolio Tracker. It's at Nancy Tracker, and it's fantastic. If you're on Twitter, you got to go follow it right now at Nancy Tracker, and you'll see they just post like, oh, it's great, man. They just call out Nancy Pelosi on everything that she's doing with the insider trading and all her cronies. So check it out.
I guess she's looking at stepping down, or maybe that's fake news. What's real, what's not, who knows? But, she probably cashed out already. She made enough money. She's already had enough. And she's just like, hey, it's just not worth the risk of me staying in. I'm sick of these people pushing around and giving, crap. And I've already made my money. My bill got put through. Or did that big bill, that big bill got pushed through, right?
No. So the debt ceiling was temporarily raised through December to avoid a government shutdown. The infrastructure bill has not been passed, and the Build Back Better reconciliation bill is being negotiated right now. It started at 3.5 trillion, which is an unfathomable amount of money. But there was, complete party line vote, 50-50, except for 2 Democratic senators are not willing to pass it. So they need those 2 on board. So they're paring it down right now. But so nothing's been passed yet.
And those are the ones that, they're following into the bathrooms with phones and doing that. But anyway, that's not anything important for the markets today. And that's not going to put money in your pocket or take money away. It's just bullshit. So let's get into something that is more fun. Dre over here on Instagram said that the General Electric thing is because of the mandates, the COVID vaccine mandates, which is the same thing that happened with Southwest. Their employees rebelled. I mean, thank God these bastards stood up for once. Now they're standing up, and now you see the companies kind of cowering back, man. Oh, okay, maybe we won't do that with unpaid leave, and General Electric is now doing that. So there's so much crazy stuff going on. Oh, Stephen, we got to talk about these freaking ships, man. How many of you, when you were a kid, did you like those big, choo-choo ships that, went through the lakes and the oceans? Well, if any of you want to see a whole lot of those big ships, just go to California, go to any place where it's by port. There's 60 to 80 of those ships just anchored out there with all of your Christmas gifts. Oh, yeah. So Christmas might be a little weird this year because there might not be any goods to put under the Christmas tree if you don't buy them now. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that the ships they're working 24/7 now, trying to get this backlog in, but they're saying it's almost impossible to get the backlog of all these cargo ships through before the Christmas season. So therefore, we are not going to have a ho, 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 awesome Christmas if you like gifts under the tree. So I think what we should do is start sending some coal down to Washington, D.C., saying, F you, Washington, F you, government, like you created this mess. Here's your lump of coal. There we go. Panic ordering by retailers is making the supply chain crisis even worse. Man, how can it get much worse? I mean, my gosh, can't even get freaking, you can't get cars. People are rushing out to buy used cars. Can't get anything anymore. I mean, I've seen photos of stores that the shelves are empty.
Yeah, and there's a lot of blame going around for this right now. Everybody wants to play the blame game, whether it's bad union contracts, whether it's people not being able to work, or they're scared to work, not going back to work, whether, it's a whole long list of reasons why this could be happening. I mean, one thing I did find interesting that came out this week, however, was that the guy that's in charge of all this stuff, and again, I'm just going to bring this up real briefly just because I find it more funny than anything else. But the guy that's in charge of all this, the Secretary of Transportation, has been out for the last 2 months on paternity leave, which is fine and dandy. I'm all for that. It's nice if you could take 2 months off to care for your new baby. I sure didn't get that opportunity. But
yeah, where was my
we check great money with our taxes to be able to do this. So good for him. But you would think during the worst supply chain crisis of my lifetime that I know about, at least. I mean, I've never seen anything like this before go on. That the guy in charge of it maybe not take all that time off right now and do it later, right? But not here nor there. There's a lot of blame that goes around. I just found that pretty ironic that was happening.
So is this real? Avery said California. Let's see. California made that new rule that's what is that? Semis? Yeah, semis have to get. All right. So I don't really know. Avery, let us know what.
I read a little bit about this. So California rule came out that said if a truck is to pick up, supplies from a port in California, it has to be like a 2018 or 2000 and something or newer semi truck. And it's all because of all the green emissions and all the stuff in California. But what that's doing is it's causing, again, shortages because there's not enough trucks to go pick up the goods, and they're trying to bring more in to help. And it's just, so not only the boats waiting for the to open once they're open, and then there's another rule that if they're late, they're charged a certain amount of money. But if they get there and they wait for, let's say, 3 hours, they don't get paid for waiting. They only get paid if they're late. So there's not a lot of incentive for them to go there. There's all these, again, unions are very powerful, and port unions are one of the most powerful labor unions in the world. So there's kind of a lot of blame going on back and forth. So there's a lot of stories coming out, but the bottom line is it's affecting you, me, and everybody on here. And it's going to affect our families going into the Christmas season with increased prices, lack of being able to get what you want, and just an overall, problem that's happening. So,
yeah. And also I got confirmation, Parker over here, he was talking about a shed. So you ordered a new shed, maybe the one that you park your lawnmower in. I guess you can't even get sheds shipped anymore. But hey, it's just about everything. So what other topics we got, Stephen? What's going on in the political front? The border problems. I mean, we got the Afghanistan problems. We got, the COVID mandates. You got all sorts of things going on. We got the stock market keeps going higher. But if 89% of the stock market's owned by 10% of the wealthiest, they're puppeteering this thing. Is this all just one giant game of smoke and mirrors? Okay. Is this literally the biggest illusion you've ever seen in your life? Because from the charts, that hockey stick sure looks like it is, because the only other time I know, and it's not even, now we've surpassed that, is 1929, like the 26 to 29 period right before the Great Depression. It was looking very similar to what this is looking like now. But, the government with modern monetary theory, the printing press, in other words, print yourself out of everything, and 89% of the stock market being controlled by the 10%, like, is this all manipulation? And if it's manipulation, when does the whole house of cards actually come down? But here's the thing. We can't time the market. You never can. You're always going to get it wrong. Ray Dalio can't do it. And he owns the largest hedge fund in the world, might be arguably one of the smartest minds in the whole investing world. And he got it wrong. So you can't time the market, but what you can do is you can time your rules. You can time your trades. You can buy at a certain price and sell at a certain price and constantly make money. But most of the money in the markets for individual investors are in 401ks. And Stephen, have you looked at, now, because me and you were both advisors, we saw a lot of 401ks in the prospectuses. They used to have lots of halfway decent mutual funds in these 401ks. I just had one of our staff bring me their wife's 401k statement. Dude, there was nothing. Like there was no real options in there. It was just all these freedom funds, these retirement plan funds or retirement date funds with high fees. So where are 401k investors going if this whole thing is kind of just a house of cards? I say they're in trouble. Like there's just no options inside their 401ks to take a defensive position. There's no options for them to kind of sit on the sidelines, maybe cash. But I've seen 401ks that don't even have a cash management. Can you believe that? How can that be allowed?
It's
He's speechless. He doesn't even know what to say.
It's just bizarre. It just goes right in line with everything else. Like the more control they can take away from you, the more that they can actually control. So if they give you less options or only options that they want to give you, then you have no other choice. It just, I don't get people putting more money into their 401ks than absolutely is necessary. And in my opinion, what is necessary is getting the free money. So whatever they match, anything above and beyond that is just insane to me. And even getting the match at this point right now with where the stock market is with these limited options and with you not being able to touch your money, it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
There's no secret that we hate 401ks. No secret whatsoever. We're very open about it. But the one thing I will tell all of you, and I'm going to give you a little advice. If you have a 401k, you're going to be putting money in it anyway. But whatever your match is, let's say your match is 3%. If you put 3% of your pay into your 401k, you get 3% pretty much for free. Your employer gives you a match of 3%. If that's the case, then why wouldn't you put 3% in to get 3% free? But if you get 3% as a match and you're putting in 15% or 10%, what the hell are you thinking? You're smoking something. Stop smoking something. Go look at yourself in the mirror and say, yes, that was stupid. I'm giving up control of my best dollars today in exchange for weaker dollars later that are going to be taxed at a higher rate, almost guaranteed. Why would you ever give up control of your money? Put just what's necessary to get the match out of your 401k and then reallocate those extra dollars somewhere you're in control of it. And then, finally, TikTok is finally waking up. Somebody got some coffee. So we got some things. Colorado Conservative said, I've been holding off on buying more stocks and buying gold and silver. Do you buy gold? I do. I'm not buying gold right now, Colorado Conservative, just because right now it's relatively high, but I think gold can be a good play. It's just, it's performing quite strange lately. But I think if that's what you're doing and that's a strategy that fits your risk tolerance, game on, man. Gold and silver, always going to be a good place. It might be a bit high right now. That's the only thing to be concerned with. But, that would be my take on that. And then Bob Nobody. Bob, you should change your name, man. You're not a nobody, but I guess you want to call yourself Bob Nobody. He says, it's not an illusion. The government stated the position over a year ago. Fed is propping the markets up. Absolutely correct. And thank you all for liking the hat. This is my Mexico special today. Bob is totally right. The government is propping the markets up. And the government and the 10% are, I don't want to say in cahoots, but those are the elite, the wealthiest people, the hedge funds. So there's definitely some correlations there between the government and that 10% that owns 89%. So are they propping the market up? You're damn well right they are. Can they continue to prop the markets up for perpetuity? No. But will they keep doing it? Sure. You're seeing it happen right now. This market should have collapsed and fallen on its face many years ago, and it hasn't because of exactly what Bob Nobody said. So, Bob, thanks for your comment there. Anyone want to argue about the markets? Anyone think the markets are just going to keep on keeping on and just keep going up? Because I'd love to get in an argument about that. So if any of you are ready to, get in the ring with me and Steven and argue about it, let's talk about your take on where you think the markets are going in the next, let's just say 3 to 5 years. And then let's have some fun with that. And what else we got?
And how about Jerome Powell getting caught this week, dumping $5 million worth of stock the day before the crash in October when they announced everything?
Oh, man. There you go. More insider trading. Yeah, but why are they picking on Jerome and not Nancy, huh? Nancy's doing the same damn thing he's doing. Is it just not caught up with her? Is that why she's trying to get out? I mean, I can't stand her. I think she needed to go a long time ago. But, Jerome is, playing a little game here. Fed chair, and I don't know if any of you understand that, but if you don't understand what the Fed chair is, that dude's got some information at his disposal that you all could only dream of having, but he's not allowed to act on the information because that would be called insider trading, or, we could even call it front running. And so what are they doing to this guy? Are they going to throw him on the freaking Are they going to do anything, or is it just going to hit the news and then all of a sudden nothing happened, just like so many other things?
Well, it's barely being covered by mainstream media, so I'm going to assume it's going to get flushed under the rug like everything else.
There you go, folks. Barely getting covered, and that's some pretty big news, right? If any of you did that and got caught, that'd be it. If any celebrity did that and got caught, you'd be all over the news. You've seen it before. Martha Stewart, remember that? When she did the insider trading, it was on every newspaper. But now the Fed chair is doing it, and it's kind of just getting swept under the rug. Funny how that works. Funny how that works. All right, if you like that video, make sure you check out this video right now. And also, don't forget, subscribe to my channel, and don't ever forget to smash that alert button. We'll see you on the next one.